So what we were planning to do with tonight's game was to have a little fun with it, playing the Anaheim Ducks. Gonna make some Mighty Ducks Disney references, have a little counter going on, see how many I can make, have a little fun. That's what this show's all about. But instead, I have to talk about the gross negligence on the ice by the names of Tim Peel, Kendrick Nicholson, David Brisebois, and Mark Wheeler, whatever. Anyway, just awful officiating throughout most of the game on both sides. Let's just get right into it. So we start things off first period, 2 U's, 2 K's, Tuukka Rask. He goes up against Jonathan Bernier, former Toronto Maple Leaf, and Boston gets the scoring party off right off the bat. Brandon Carlo, Anaheim looking like they have the face-off one. David Backes says, not today, sir. Passes it over to Carlo, who buries it with a bombardment shot. 1-0 blast from the point. And decent enough period for Boston. However, power play still looking out of sorts. They gave up 2 shorthanded chances as Tuukka Rask looked very strong, making some 2 big saves. Go to the second period, though, as it's Andre Case tying it up. Weird deflection off of Colin Miller by Ryan Getzlaf, who gets the puck back. And it's going to set up a 3-on-1. Nick Ritchie to get the puck. He gives it to Case. 1-1, that's it. We go a little bit later on, and the Bruins are on a power play. A beautiful setup here to David Pastrnak for some power play pasta. What a one-timer this kid has, but nope. The on-ice officials call it a no-goal for incidental contact here, as Brad Marchand going to put pressure, get in front of the net, cause a screen. His skate ends up getting tied up with Jonathan Bernier's stick. And, but, I mean, if you look at the replay, which they've showed 100 times during this game, Jonathan Bernier, clear as day, has an opportunity to make this save. And it looked like he initiated the contact to begin with. So this was just not a good call here. Completely disagree with the officials here, but it gets worse, folks. Trust me. We'll get to it in a second. So the Pastrnak play gets null and void by a great setup by Colin Miller, as he will go down into the offensive zone, finding Frank Vatrano, gives it over to David Backes, gives it back to the big guy. Another point shot here that gets blasted past Bernier. 2-1 Boston. A little bit later on, Rickard Rakell will make it a 2-2 game. Tuukka Rask initially making the save here. The puck will trickle behind him and just die. But Rask trying to do a little snow angel action, trying to fall back on it. Ends up kicking it into his own net. One that Rask desperately would like to have back here. That'll tie it up. A little bit later on, though, and this one is where it really gets worse. Josh Manson here on a rebound off of a Nick Ritchie wraparound attempt will make it 3-2. However, initial entry looked offsides. It looked offsides in live action. They slow it down, and boy, God, was it even worse. Just a terrible no call. David Brisebois or Mark Wheeler, I don't know what lines you were looking at. Maybe you were looking at some white lines, if you know what I mean. Just a 2-goal swing here by the NHL officials. The no-goal call for Pastrnak, and then missing the offsides, costing Boston 2 goals, if you will. We go to the third period, though. Boston still hasn't a chance, as David Krejci, what a magnificent pass this was, gives it over to Frankie Vatrano, who is off to the races, makes it a 3-3 hockey game. But a little bit later on, Rickard Rakell will make some contact with Tuukka Rask. About the same amount of contact that Brad Marchand did, but no call there. Whatever. Anyway, that finds its way into the back of the net. 4-3 Anaheim. Boston will pull the goaltender, and the officials will declare an empty net goal as they give Torrey Krug a hooking penalty. Just let's go quickly over this play, if you will. Torrey Krug gets the hook in on Cogliano. Cogliano, he takes the fall, he acts hurt, and he gets indignant on this one. Not only that, but even without the hooking, the puck was about maybe 25, 30 feet in front of him, with Patrice Bergeron closing the gap and looking like he was going to beat him to the race. And the puck goes wide anyway. I don't know why they call this an empty net goal. There was really no goal to be had, at least in my opinion, of course. One of the worst officiated games I've seen this season. The NHL should be ashamed of themselves. I got nothing else to say. See you tomorrow. We take on the Kings.